You're watching a slice of Knightlife, a weekly look into Rutgers athletics. For the men's soccer team, it's all about November 17th. They'd love to get to College Park, Maryland, and the final of the Big Ten Championship. Jim McElderry is the head coach of the Scarlet Knights in his first year. I know that's a big goal, but is that what every team is thinking about?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're lucky in the Big Ten in that everybody makes the conference playoffs. So, you're always trying to build for that last couple of weeks of the season. But, I think it's a challenge to kind of the grind of every single game is difficult. But again, that's what we're hoping that will help us develop as individuals, but also as a program.
You've already played Michigan State, a team that went to the national semifinals last year. You've played Maryland, who won it all 1 year ago. Does that equip this club for making a solid run down the stretch?
I hope so, but I think more so it almost just really kind of opened the eyes of some of our players to understand the level and also the depth of some of these teams. That's something that we're trying to really improve in our group, not just have a good first 11, but have a group of 22 players who can all compete at that level. So it was an eye-opener for some of our freshmen, but also really exciting. We were 1-1 with the national champions 75 minutes into the game, so we know we can compete at that level, but we have to get better if we want to win those games.
What a collection of players you have, from international players to Jersey grown to youngsters to veterans. How about this mix and kind of the compilation of the group overall? Yeah,
it's one of the things that's challenging for us, especially these incoming freshmen that are international. It's a big change in their life, whether they're coming from Israel or France or wherever. Culturally, it's a big difference, but also the game is different from where they were coming from. So we're constantly working with them to try to get them acclimated to how college soccer works, from different substitution rules to just even dealing with a full load of classes after training.
Finally, tell the fans a little bit about yourself. Fairfield, a heck of a player. Fordham, a head coach for 16 years, now on the banks, trying to build this Rutgers program back to where it was.
Yeah, the playing days are long over, so I don't.
You were a striker, right?
Yeah, I don't need to jump in anymore and run around with those guys. But yeah, I think I feel like my background has really set me up to be ready for this type of challenge, and hopefully we can develop and really we understand the history here, and we want to match that history and really live up to some of the alums, and we're excited about that, and we're hoping that those guys get on board and come back and support the new generation that we have coming in.
Jim McElderry, a Jersey guy back in the Garden State. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks, Bruce.
Coming up next, we're talking women's volleyball, and they've got an international flair as well.
Kojadinovic off to a hot start tonight. 4 kills, no errors, hitting 500.
Počela sam da igram odbojku kada sam imala 6 godina i od tada odbojka je sastavni deo mog života. I definitely think there's a huge difference between volleyball in Europe and here. I feel like in Europe, teams and players focus more on their technical abilities, whereas here teams put more emphasis on their physical abilities, trying to jump higher, hit stronger. It was never actually a plan for me to come here, but then I realized that in America you can get a great education and play at the highest level while getting a full scholarship, which is great. And it's really hard to do that in Europe because they require you to practice 2 times a day, and it's hard to manage playing professionally and also going to university every day. So that's why I decided to come here. When that decision was probably one of the hardest decisions of my life, to leave my home country. But I think if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely.
Slice of Knightlife will return after this brief message. Let's take a look at the past week's action in Rutgers athletics. Make sure to come out and support your Scarlet Knights this week on the Banks. And don't forget to tune in again next week for Knightlife.
We're building an excellent program here. We're making the investments that are required in order to have excellence across our programs. So continue to believe, continue to support, continue to come out, and you'll be very happy what happens for Rutgers Athletics going forward.
For the first 3 years, we didn't even talk about winning. We just talked about competing every day, and we just really focused on the culture and the chemistry.
You won't want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in.